All right, we are now live. What's up, everyone? Let's see how the stream goes. Yeah. Actually, give me one sec. I may need to edit some stuff with my OBS. Hopefully, the music is working fine. I think it is. Okay, we should be set. Um, here is my multi-channels. There it is. Okay. All right, we should be properly live today. We are just going to do one of the other two things. Okay, so we can continue drawing this cover I did over the week, and also we can uh, continue drawing this manga page, which I haven't finished yet. Okay, there's like three other panels here that I haven't done. I intentionally left this out within the week because I wanted to at least do something for you guys that's from scratch. Okay, I got like three panels that I need to draw from scratch, and a few of these are still sketches. This one I really need help. I need help with a reference. Now it's not really exactly copied one to one. I'm still debating about the horse's head here, but I'm keeping it at the moment like this. I may change some stuff. It's just a base drawing, right, with a pose. I really like this. I wanted to have a little bit of variations within my post because I realized some of my earlier pages, um, I kind of repeat the angles and the poses frequently, okay? But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just that my philosophy is that I want every panel to have something at least different. Because I've been reading Chainsaw Man, and boy, dude, it's a heartbreaking read. But I've been reading Chainsaw Man, and Tatsuki Fujimoto has a lot of repeating panels, so I guess that's okay. But for me, I want to avoid those as much as I can. Okay, but it's not. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. It's just a personal philosophy that I want to follow. You know, and be more consistent with my at least my school of thought. Yeah, if that makes sense. Okay, let's just continue. I actually want to start sketching a few of these first, and then we'll render Hikari here. I've already done the background. The background here is really just last week's cover art of Aki, and I just copy pasted it because I want a little bit of consistency between covers. Okay, and I've done a little bit of rendering here, not totally anything here yet. I'll show you some sketches, some other ideas about this later on. I think I did like a lot of sketches here, right? This was the main one that I liked, but I had like a couple poses. Anyway, we'll get into that a bit more, but I want to at least sketch out the three other panels here that I have to do. Okay, so I like doing this for my for stream because for the most part, when I start streaming, it's already well within the uh I already have a lot of things done within my manga page, and I never really have the chance to show my audience how I do it from scratch, right? Because I kind of do this as work as well, so I can't really stream work, for obvious reasons. So yeah, today might be a good idea to do this. And there's only like three panels, right? We're not gonna spend the entire stream drawing this entire page. Okay, I might just do that off stream. But we'll have a few other things we can do. What was I doing? I remember this one was a running page. So let's. I kind of vaguely remember the script. This one in particular, I remember. We'll just see Hikari here running. Okay, just do a quick pose like this, and we'll have the two of the other leads here at a distance with the horse. Okay, whatever. And this is just a close-up of Hikari's back as she's running, and this is a close-up of a side profile of Aki, this boy over here that she's arguing with. Okay. All right. Let's just sketch that for now. Maybe I should need a thicker pencil. Sorry. I'm still experiencing a lot of lag with Photoshop. But it's improved since last week anyway. think this is too big. Too big. So we're gonna do a running pose. So we're gonna have her shoulders be a bit more angled like this, and her hips be angled like this. Okay. Uh, yeah, there, like this. So another trick, because I'm not really the best at anatomy. I mean, I'm good at predicting what kind of anatomy looks good. Actually, give me a sec. It's my own base, okay? It's okay. Wait. There's something overlapping there. Oh no, it's fine. Oh shit. That's my cap cut. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the anatomy thing. I'm not really the best when it comes to anatomy. I'm really good at eyeballing stuff, um, and predict what looks good. So what I instead do is draw the clothing instead, right? I think this is so thick. All right, let's draw the clothing. Okay, so instead of doing this, we're just gonna draw straight to the clothes. So Hikari has a new, semi-new outfit. It's still the same outfit, but a little bit of improvement, I guess, from last time we saw her. Kind of running, chasing someone. It's not really a action scene just yet. In fact, I think I'm like 2 chapters away from an action scene. It's gonna be a short one because this part of the story is more like a mystery. It's written like a mystery. I need to make that a little bit smaller still. Right there, so she's more centered. I guess that's okay. Kind of regretting designing Hikari's ears to be really, really long. But it's supposed to be a specific kind of ears. It's supposed to be a lynx ear, right? Was it a lynx or was it a mountain lion? One of those things with the pointed tip at the very end there. So this hand is kind of cocked back, so we'll only see the fist as she runs. And that looks like a running pose, right? And feet there. I don't like the this angle here. Maybe we can tighten up a little bit. That looks a little bit better. Now we can clean it up later. Let's establish the ground. It should be here. Really low horizon line, but it's not really a low camera angle just yet. So the horse. Now I have trouble drawing the horse, and I may need a reference here. But I'm gonna try my best. Okay, let's challenge ourselves. see if we can actually draw a horse with our reference. Because I've been drawing this thing quite a lot. It's kind of annoying how repetitive it gets, right? So I'm hoping I could at least get some resemblance of a horse here. That looks like a horse. Eldrick should be right on top. Okay, this is just a sketch. Okay, again, I'm having trouble with this. I am not really used to drawing animals, but we'll do our best. I think the head is too big. We'll refine it. You know, just focus on the sketch for now. But I think I'm getting better at drawing horses, though. Let's lower him down to the ground. Finally, we'll see Aki, who's like right next to him, right? Okay. That's just his silhouette. This is just his silhouette. Because it's really tiny, it's kind of hard to draw. But that gives us context that she's running away from them. So the story here is that Hikari is being told to go away and follow somebody, but she doesn't want to. And her brother is like really controlling. And she's like, yeah, it's better to go with them. And she's like, just don't start any trouble. You just want me to go, just want me to go away, don't you? Again, it's like, yeah, okay, fine. And then she goes to run away, and she follows a character named Cedric, who I introduced in chapter 2. Actually, I introduced him in chapter 1, but I didn't quite name him yet there. Okay, so this is done. Need some refining. Let's now draw this one. So I'm gonna draw over. Oh, oops, wrong panel, wrong layer. I'm gonna draw over this because this is a big close-up, and I want a nice side profile. Yeah, and I am drawing the ball and triangle here. A nice side profile. This is gonna be the part that's detailed, so we'll only worry about this part. Because I want a close-up of Aki as, looking a little bit worried about Hikari. But he's not really showing it. But he is worried about his sister. Let's draw that. Eyes over here. Right there. Okay. Now we can delete the rest. Boom. And there we have our side profile. Now it's just the hair, right? Maybe a little bit more, a softer chin here. And let's show the fur coat that they're all wearing fur coats. And in Contact, it's a guild thing. This guy here, whose character is Eldrick, is a member of a mercenary group, and they all wear this fur coat kind of cloak. And since they're being invited into a, let's say, this kind of quest thing, my chat went away again. Yeah, they're being invited, and so they're given this honorary fur coat. Very posh, eh? Alright, this is just the back of Hikari's hand. It's not really a close-up, but I want it to reflect that he is worried about her. So something like that. This isn't really much of a maybe shoulders up. This isn't much of a panel really. These two are just to show more emotions, close-ups. And then we break through a different scene here. And ears, something like that, right? But yeah. So that's the entire thing. Oh, I kind of moved this thing. Hey, should be there. Enlarge it. Whatever. It's not important. I'll probably work on this off stream. I'll work on it a little bit because I think I'm already in it. I don't wanna um diverge that quickly. We got some time anyway. It's really early in the stream. So the way I like to do things, and I like to catch myself here because I could simply just, you know, uh, oh, I drew this in the wrong layer too. Don't worry about it. You know what? I'm just gonna lower the opacity here and do it here like this. I sometimes catch myself not doing this because you should be doing this all the time. Okay. And because the old way I used to do it was just draw over the sketch, but I get criticism that I don't have a sketch to show for anymore. And that's not the only reason I'm doing this now. It's also this is also a faster process, right? It's a faster method of drawing. So I guess it's just about killing my old habits. So for Hikari's hair here, it's a bit floppy, so we're gonna give it a little bit of an angle instead of her usual bob cut. Yeah, she's running, so there's gonna be some motion. Maybe something like this even. Right? Things I want to consider. We'll just clean up these three things here, and then we'll move on to the cover page. Because I think I need to finish the cover page before, say, the end of next week. I can probably finish it today if I'm feeling productive, lack of a better word. So a crop top hoodie isn't really very medieval, right? I mean, I'm sure during those era they figured out how to make a hoodie. I mean, they had cloaks and shit. But I'm not quite sure about the concept of a crop top. But it is medieval fantasy, so I'm gonna forgive it. It's a good way to excuse giving somebody a crop top. I'm still not a fan of this hand gesture here. Maybe I'll close the fist like this. I think that's a bit better. Looking good. Keep going. I'm kind of worried that Because I totally forgot I titled my video about the cover art, right? And I'm doing this. It's okay. Hopefully I just explained that properly though. That my audience said I'm not losing my audience. I am trying to stream more on Fridays, by the way. But it's kind of hard. But I want more days within the week that I'm streaming, you know, instead of my usual 2 days a week. And next week I'll be doing the rave fan art that I was commissioned to do. I got like a lot of commissions lined up. Bit of a flex there for artists, right? But I've been doing this for a very long time. I'm a full-time artist since I want to say 2016, but all I did then was just logo design. But that's really where my career started anyway. I mean, it's art adjacent, right? It's art related at least. And then around 2021, something like that, I finally got my first real high-paying art gig that involves actual drawing than just doing logo design. So she has black socks. So we're not gonna draw her uh, toes. Every single part of her design is really deliberate. By the way, I actually all of my characters are very deliberate when I design them. For example, Hikari has sort of these gloves and these bindings in her legs that turn her legs and arms black, almost like a tattoo. So she has that on her both of her arms and both of her legs. So, but she kind of covers it with, say, a glove, for example, or this long sleeves. And the lore goes like it's kind of a mystery even to her. She can't remove it, and her grandfather, her adopted grandfather, said that it's almost like it's part of her skin. And yeah, it's a whole thing for the story. So let's do the hand guide again that I've been preaching. Right, so there, this will be the triangles, but you can't see it since it's sideways. So fingers, 3 points like this. Actually, you know what? We could probably do a more curve like that. Okay. Did I just merge? Yeah, I did. And like this. So we're not going to be drawing all of the fingers because, you know, it's obviously behind the other fingers. So it's okay. And like that. Just erase the guide. And you'll get a fist. I think. I hope. That looks like a fist. I hate this angle, by the way. This angle for the fingers. I absolutely hate it. This should be it, right? It's a ring. It goes to her, the black thing that I told you about. Okay. Oh yeah, she's also wearing a turtleneck. She's actually very conservative, right? I mean, you can only see this part of her skin. And the only reason why I'm doing that is because I like the crop top aesthetic, not necessarily the the revealing of the stomach, right? So it's a very small part of herself that's showing. So it's almost like a tease, and that's how I really define sexiness. Is just a tease, and then let's go a bit further later on down the line, right? So I'm gonna give her a funny face because she's really annoyed here. I want her. I want bigger eyes. Really annoyed eyes. Hey, what, sir? What's up, man? Good evening to you, man. It's a big storm, eh? Hopefully you're doing okay. We're doing fine here in Makati. Okay, I don't need the sketch anymore. And let's just draw some details. We're gonna draw in our blacks now. Hopefully I did it right. I think her head is too big. Definitely head is too big. Let's just adjust that. Something like this. Raise it up a little bit. There you go. Perfect. Now just clean up here. Up, superstar. Hey, Elias. I haven't seen you in a while, eh, Elias? Then again, I was streaming for a while then too. Bulacan ako, may pupuntahan po akong Reader Writer Fest sa Cubao. Ah, but it's like storming, even in Manila. You just take care, yeah? I mean, I kind of like it that it's storming, to be honest with you. I mean, I know it's very insensitive to say that because a lot of people are struggling. But for me, I like the rain, man. I know I can sleep better. It's an opportunity for me to sleep better. Oop, whoa, damn. Photoshop just keeps doing that. I actually don't mind it, but I'm streaming, and once in a while, Photoshop spazzes out. I'm used to it, but it's not good for stream. Ano tuturo na lang tungkol sa monster design? Ah, you mean on the thing that you're going to? They're gonna teach you monster design. Actually, technically, it's called like creature design in concept art, um, which is really cool if you're doing that. I actually need a really nice design for um, my monster. I have a few monster designs, but I want something scary, something unsettling, you know. And that those kind of horror, those kind of designs are really hard because I think everybody has been desensitized with creature designs and horror shit throughout the years that it's really hard to come up with something new that's really unsettling. Um, for creature design, I'm not really the guy to teach that, I suppose. I mean, I know how to do a little bit of it. Um, Archie, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, I'm not really the expert in creature design. I don't really remember my class on creature design that much. Now that I'm actually thinking really hard on what I learned there, but I can't bring back the memories. The how do you do creature design? Fuck. Oops. The hell is that? Um, why not implement light then? Man, well, I know that's. I want something unsettling. That I think that's just a bit disgusting thing, right? Like like I can't really put it to words what I want, and that's part of the problem. Kasi may sketch po ako ng monster sa comics ko tungkol sa VR pero totoong fantasy world pala yun. I'm not sure what you're saying there, to be honest with you, Peng. Like a slow swarm that devours, yeah. Yeah, well, I'll show you something, and this is one of the reasons why I want a creature design. So here, this is more like a flashback. I haven't finished this yet. I haven't finished the background, and these shadows here are just copy pasted, right? I want to refine them first, and maybe put some more people here. There's gonna be a vehicle here, like a medieval kind of contraption. And but what I came up with is this big arm, right? And I think I keep the sketch? No, I didn't keep the sketch. I think what I came up with was tentacles, spines. I was looking up like real mythological creatures that people believed back in the days. So yeah, I don't know. This is like the best one I can came up. I want this creature to be a bit vague, so I have room to redesign it later on when I have a more solid idea. I don't want it to be anything in particular. I just want the context of the scene where these this is like the first shot out on the dredgelands, right? So the context here is a flashback where we're being told what happened a little bit, from an unreliable. So well, it's not really unreliable. He wasn't there. This is like a third party account of what happens, right? But yeah, so I want everything here to be vague. It's not final. But I'm a bit more. There's a bit more detail here. Like there are like medieval knights, Vikings, and Roman soldiers here, and that's part of the world that I created. Right? It's because it's these cultures, uh, being put into like this one world, and they each have their region. So they're kind of in an alliance. I know they don't belong in the same timeline. I mean, the Romans didn't really necessarily meet the Vikings or the knights. But I these are like really cool concepts that I want to entangle. So in my world, you can have like a samurai, or for example, fight a Spartan. They're not necessarily that, but they look like that, right? But they're not. They're not that. They're not samurais. They're not Spartans, but they kind of just look that, and maybe are named similarly. The cultures are very similar. I've talked about this before, anyway. It's a bit random, but the YouTube animation situation is upsetting. The YouTube animators I'm not quite sure what you mean, but I'm guessing it's about AI since it's upsetting in its animation. Um, Hello, everyone. Hey, Biophoenix, what's up, man? Their common but severe degree can vary. What is the language? That's Archie. That's Tagalog. He's from my country, so he's a bit. Peng is a regular here. He has trouble speaking English, I guess, but it's okay. I'll translate it for him. Diyan po ako hirap paano po gumawa ng larger like dragon or hydra. Saka hirap po gumawa ng army or maraming soldiers. So Peng is saying that he's having a hard time drawing larger creatures and like an army. I'll show you how I did this, okay? How do I show it? Wait me a sec. Regroup this. Come on. Lagging. Sorry. So the way I did that is I'm just gonna be very quick. Is understand the perspective, right? So you gotta know the planes. I'm trying to see if I can explain this a bit simpler. So know your foreground, your midgrounds, and your backgrounds. Okay, so let's say midground, they're gonna be closer to the camera, so the soldiers would appear like larger, right? So this is like their head, their necks, their back, something like this. Just something very quick. So they would appear larger because they're closer to the camera, right? So they may be holding a sword or a flag, whatever. Another one here, maybe. Let's just do this very quickly for Pang. Right, so soldiers much more closer, and maybe this is your foreground, right? So let's draw the midground now, and I would draw this in a different layer. So the soldiers are a little bit more smaller because they're now further away from the camera, but not too small that they don't appear like ants, but they're like this size, right? Like that. I'm just doing this very quickly on a real drawing. I'll be more deliberate with this, obviously. So now, okay, here's the trick: is once you draw something like this, you can just copy and paste it, and you don't have to draw everything over and over again. But that's really the concept of the army scene here. They're not really an army; they're just a group of expeditioners. In retrospect, I shouldn't have given them too much armor here, to be honest with you, because they look like soldiers, right? But that's okay. It's a third-hand account, so it's a vague interpretation of what actually happened, and that's the context of this sequence here, which is part of a larger page. Me and my artist finally started on our first page recently. Oh, I'm so glad to see that, man. I'm glad to hear that, man, because I've heard a lot from you guys that you've started, and some of you guys have already finished a manga. Here's what I would say to you, Biophoenix, and everybody who's trying to write their own story. Spend a lot of time writing it, and then next year, on March, I hope I can see you guys on Kodakawa's World Manga event, and we should join together, right? Make our own one shot. It doesn't have to be a really complex one. It just needs to be something complete. I think the minimum requirement is like 8 pages and to 60 pages, right? If I remember that correct. I could be wrong, but it's something like that. So Biophoenix and everybody there that's working on their manga, the next big competition I believe is in March next year. Okay, so we got like a lot of time, and I'm already writing my next one shot. That's a little bit related to the world, but it's not really related to the story. It's just taking place in the same world that I created, right? So the same rules and the same story. Not same story. So I'm already writing that, and I'm really excited to work on it. Maybe sometime around October, I hope. Right? But yeah, I hope to see you guys on the World Manga event in March. All right. So anyway, that's why I need the creature for, and hopefully, Peng, I gave you a little bit of a, quick. You gotta be a little bit more patient with this, okay, with an army scene, because you will be drawing a lot of people in a lot of detail, and you gotta pace yourself. In fact, this I think took me 2 days of drawing, but this is like my second arm. There's a bigger scene that I want to show you guys, okay? This is very old, very old drawing, and some of you have already seen this. Where is my double page spread? This one here. This is another army scene. This one's a lot easier to do, and I kind of just cheated. Okay, if you guys can tell, what I did here was just draw this one guy, and then I copy pasted it. I copy pasted it, and the only difference here are the excuse me. The only difference here are the shadings, right? If you guys can see this, the shadings a little bit different from each helmet. Some of them has scratches, some of them has scratches in different places. But it's really just copy pasted. This is a copy paste, and even these soldiers here, these shieldsmen, are just copy paste. I mean, some of them has a little bit of variation, right? But it's really just copy pasting. I mean, this is just like scribbles. But if you zoom out, it looks like a cohesive army, right? And it looks like it took me ages to draw this. It really only took me 2 or 3 days because I really just copy pasted. Okay, so it's a bit of a cheat. But yeah. Jeez, when did I draw this? It's like last year, I think. But yeah, it's one of my earlier pages. Anyway, let's just continue with the drawing. Let's say no here. I finished writing my whole story in 2024, but I will have to come up with something new for a one shot to take part. Yeah, man. That's great, man. I 2024, so it's like 2 years ago, right? Almost 3. I've only started writing last year, and I'm still learning. But what I've learned about writing is that I may write something really good right now, and then I reread it. It's like, holy shit. Right? It's one of those things. I totally forgot what I was doing. Okay. I kind of like the look without the iris, because it really looks like she's pissed off. Okay. So I'm not going to draw the ground here. I kind of leave that to the background part, which I'll do later. Actually, it's Pinoy Tagalog. Yeah, okay, yeah, exactly. So, and this is really tiny, right? I can barely draw in this size. So I'm just going to draw the details here. I'm not going to draw, I'm going to draw the implication, the silhouette here, really. And not the entire thing, because dude, this is gonna be impossible to draw. Right, something like this. Neck here a bit thick. I think that's how you draw a leg. I need a reference. No. I'll try to draw it first without one, and then if it looks bad, I'm gonna get a reference. It already looks bad anyway, so you know. Whatever. It's really hard to draw, man, on this scale. I may need a bigger canvas anyway, but even if that's the case, nobody's gonna notice this. I don't think it's worth it. It's really tiny. Nasabag mo yung creator, okay naman po, salamat sa todo. No, no problem, man. Peng is saying, he's thanking me for teaching him how to draw a crater. But yeah, I'm glad that helped. He's so tired. I'm kind of debating if I should just leave them out of the picture, right? I'm gonna make him look a little bit here. He's looking at Hikari. I'm debating if I really should just leave them out because this thing is so tiny. They become inconsequential, meaning that they become unimportant of how small they are. But it's a nice detail, you know. It's a good effort. Okay, that's one panel. Draw this. Ugh, stretching a bit. It's a really neat trick that I learned from Tatsuki Fujimoto when I was studying him and how to draw hair, particularly black hair. Really quickly, I'll show you that a bit later. But yeah, speaking of Tatsuki Fujimoto, I just finished volume 9, I think. Yeah, volume 9 of Chainsaw Man. I wanted to pick up Chainsaw Man after I watched the Les arc. It's a manga that really pisses me off. Because it's heartbreaking. It's a heartbreaking manga, man. I mean, some of the detail in Chainsaw Man has already been spoiled to me, but even so, reading it is still heartbreaking. I don't want to spoil it, but that's all I'm gonna say. It's heartbreaking. The first thing that came to my mind, right? So let's draw hair. I'm gonna box it in so I don't draw over the box line here. And I'm just gonna get a thick line, and I can just do something like this, right? It's a bit dirty, it's a bit messy, a lot less deliberate. But it's a quicker, much more natural kind of way to draw hair, I guess. I did read Eden of Witches, which is really cool. I haven't read that one. I'm actually just reading four. I think I'm reading four stories at the moment. And I'm reading four stories, but I have two other mangas that are coming. Actually, I got a few other mangas that are coming. What was the other manga? I keep forgetting the name. It was recommended by me. It was recommended by one of you guys. Kabuchi something. Kagura Butbachi, that's the one. Yeah, I've ordered a few volumes, and I've also ordered Snow White with the red hair. I only ordered that because I saw some of the artwork and it looked really good, so I'm kind of interested. But Kagura Kurai, that really broke my brain on how good the drawings are when it comes to the background, and I'm trying to find ways on how I can improve my background drawings, and I found a few which I shared on my Discord and how I did it. I heard good things about that one too. Yeah. Gakura Kurai is I'd say it's a solid 7 out of 10 manga so far. I've only read one volume, but it's a good enough volume for me to be interested in picking up a second volume, right? Which I will be doing very soon. I'm pretty interested. It's just not a manga that really captured me. In the same way that Witch Hat Atelier or Ruri Dragon, even Ruri Dragon, right? Which Volume 2 of Ruri Dragon really falls off. It drags on, but it picks back up, so it's good. I don't know. The thing is that I don't really buy manga out of, let's say, just popularity. I also do that too. I mean, I like the popular mangas like your One Punch Man, your Naruto. I read all of those too, but I kind of just see what art looks good because I want to learn out of that artwork, right? So that's part of my mo when I choose a manga, as if it has good artwork. Um, The story too, because again, like I'm learning writing, right? But it's not really as important as the art to me. So Gakura Korai, its art is a 10 out of 10, and it kind of carries it, in my opinion. I think I need a bigger eye here. I want to make him look a little bit more younger. It's a bigger eye, like so. A bit back, a bit more back, like that. Okay. Set up sketch. I don't want a pointy nose and nostrils. There you go. Very dirty. I caught up on Witch Hat and I'm still enjoying it. I think I'm up to volume 6 on Witch Hat Italia. I actually ordered 3 more volumes up to volume 9, but I got scammed, man. I'll show you in a little bit. Okay, give me a sec. So this is volume 8. I ordered this online, right? Which I don't really order much online. Wait, give me one sec. So there's 3 of these, volume 7, volume 8, and volume 9. And it's a bootleg. It's unreadable. I mean it's okay, right? But I don't know, I don't like it. There's something about it that's just not as good as an original copy, which give me a sec, I'll get one. Alright, so take a look at this. This is the bootleg. This is an original copy. Look how thin that is, right? Look how thin that is. I got scammed out of these. And reading the original, there's just something about it that doesn't feel right on the bootleg. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I can't really put it into words. Like I said, it's the paper, it's the feeling, it's the way it's cut. It's really really weird. That I feel like if I read this, it's gonna break my immersion. It's gonna break my reading experience if I read this thing. Okay. I mean, it's horrible. So I want to buy it on my local bookshop next time. I really just tried buying this on a new seller because it was cheap. I should have known. But yeah. Anyway, that's unfortunate. So I'm still trying to catch up. I'm still trying to catch up to Witch Hat Atelier. But yeah, I got a few other mangas that I'm just reading anyway, so that's okay. I believe I have a unique story to tell. I just need to level up my drawing skills. Yeah, man. Look, even if you can't draw that well, which I'm not saying that you can't, I think you should still attempt to draw something, right? Even if it's not the story. If you're saving your story for a better time for you to draw, just test it out anyway. You're not gonna lose anything. And just improve along the way. Right? Might as well study and work on your manga at the same time. And by study I mean study drawing. Improve along with your manga, rather, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna move on to a different section here because I think a lot of this is gonna take a while. Okay, which I'll do this off stream, but I really want to do the cover of Hikari. This. That's weird. It is weird. I can tell you my copy of Volume 9 is also pretty thin, but I bought it from store, so it's really real. Yeah, I did see on my stores that after Volume 1, every other manga on Witch Atelier is a little bit thinner. So I think you're okay with that. I think you're okay. What I really want to get though, which I don't believe I can find it here or a translation in English, is the Grimoire edition of Witch at Atelier. I'll show you that very quickly, okay? Because it's amazing. Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, this thing. Uh, Look at this, right? It only goes to a few volumes, I think. But this is like the Grimoire edition of Witch at Atelier. Dude, it would look so good in my bookshelf, right? I'm a sucker for a good cover. But yeah, I want to find it. I don't know if you can find this even, because I can't find it on my local store. Can I find it online? I haven't really tried looking for it online. Shopping. Oh, it's only 1,000 pesos, or this is about like 20 bucks. 30 bucks, 30 or $40, almost 40. I think this is a fake one. That's too cheap. This looks to be a this looks to be a legit price, right? It's like this is like 100 bucks, which would put it around the same price of Berserk or Vagabond's Deluxe Edition. But I don't know. We'll see if I can find it. I'm going to Japan again very soon, so maybe I can find it there. They announced those big hardcover versions as soon as I bought a bunch of volumes. Of course, they did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are new announcement, right? Because I really just heard of them a few months ago. Um, yeah. Whoops. Why is that? Why? Oh, it's the flow. Okay, that's much better. And here we'll be a bit more cleaner with our shadows. I'm trying to practice simpler shadows and not overly complicate my paintings. Hmm. You know what? Let's just freaking do this by tradition, right? Just do this. I'm really trying to buy Vagabond. That's really what I want to read right now. But I'm reading too many mangas now, I think, and I'm not really a avid manga reader, not anymore. Well, not ever, I guess. I'm Because of my time, right? I kind of just am a casual now. There's a word for it in the anime community. I forgot what it is. It's fun. It's a funny word. A normie? No, it's not a normie. Mega Man I need to read. I'm only missing the last two volumes. Yeah, I heard it's pretty good. I also heard it's unfinished, and it's probably never going to be finished. So, oh yeah, that's another reason why I'm putting out reading it. By the way, it's storming in my end right now, so just a disclaimer, guys. If my power shuts down, that's probably why, if the stream ends, it's probably because my power shuts down. Okay, just a quick disclaimer there. It usually they shut off electricity if it rains too hard. But in the Philippines, it's always raining so hard. Like I'm gonna just read it online, but yeah, much better if you. Yeah, that's my thing too. Um, I used to just read manga online, but I don't know. I kind of like collecting them, because it's also a display piece on my my shelves. So I kind of like to see them, reminisce if I walk past my books and, like, remember the days I was still reading those things. This is actually turning out really good. I think this is even better than my Aki render, just because I'm a bit more deliberate with my carving of the shadow here. Smell the paper while gazing up those wonderful panels. There's something about it, I don't know what it is. Again, one of those things where I can't put into words. I kind of hate it. I want to be able to describe things, but it's like the spirit of the art community, right? Who was it that was talking about being sad about the YouTube situation? Because I forgot to address that. I just got reminded. I only read the obscure manga online because most of those will never be printed officially. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Um, I guess if you can learn Japanese, and if you can regularly go to Japan, um, I bet you can find it there. When I was there, I found like a lot of like really gigantic stores and rows of bookshelves just filled with old Japanese manga and magazines. In Osaka, uh, I was there, right? I think I enjoyed. Well, okay, I think I enjoyed Osaka a lot more when it comes to all the geeky stuff. Um, because I spent like 2 days in Denden Town, which is smaller than Akihabara, apparently, but it felt bigger because it was more condensed. It felt really, it felt a lot more meaningful shopping there than in Akihabara. But I did enjoy Tokyo and a couple of other places too. Um, Tokyo was really really quiet. It was a massive culture shock the first time I was there. I kind of I kind of I was embarrassed talking because of how quiet it was. I didn't want to be the center of attention. But I had a kid when I was there, and you kind of have to be a little bit more noisy, not by choice. Um, so I'm gonna go back there very soon. I'm quite excited. I actually wanted to make a video about it, but I thought it was a little bit more pretentious. I'm one of those people, when I got back, I'm one of those people who are like, oh man, I've been to Japan, and I just couldn't move on. I'm pretty sure there's like a lot of memes about that, right? There's even a name for it, post Japan depression. If you go to Japan and you manage to find Die Buster book, sell it to me. Hey, I'll keep a lookout. I'm pretty sure you can find it there. I'll be surprised if we can find it on, the shop that I told you guys about, right? I think that shop got featured in If you guys know the anime man, Joey the anime man, I think he went there one time and he found the first edition of Shonen Jump. And if he could find that, then that manga shouldn't be a problem. Gunbuster. That actually sounds familiar. Let me look that up. Oh no, okay, no. The name does sound. Oh, okay, yeah, the robot kind of brought back memories. Okay, yeah, I know about this. I probably would enjoy this manga too. It is Bio Cheers. If I am gonna buy manga in Japan, I betcha it's gonna be in Japanese. I mean, I can speak a little bit of Japanese, but I can't read. I can write a little bit, but not cohesively, not consistently. I'm on that stage for now. Okay, I am gonna take an exam very soon. Probably not like not very soon. Relatively soon. I think it's the N5. I'm a bit confident in N5 because I can understand podcasts that are catered to N5 level. I can understand a little bit of it, but I can't read yet. So that's like my biggest hurdle. It's still my favorite Gnax anime. Um, Gnax. My favorite would be. Let me think. I think it would be Ray Earth for like girls and mecha. Oh, the Gainax. You mean the studio? Um, nah, I don't know. I'm not familiar. But with mecha animes that has like a lot of females, it has to be Ray Earth. Uh, okay, that looks really good now. Um, I kind of want to make her dress here, the thing underneath her hoodie, um, show a little bit more. Like it's transparent. Subsurface scattering, I think it's call it. If you want some goosebumps, watch a clip from YouTube where she melts that giant worm. I'll definitely check it out. Probably not now. What you're talking about, Gunbuster? I haven't watched that though. I just know the name is just familiar to me, but I don't really know anything about Gunbuster. I believe I heard it from when I was watching anime when I was a kid. I just never really switched to it. I never watched an episode. I was always with the Ghost Fighter, Dragon Ball kind of crowd back in the 90s. Those were really big. Nadia and Blue Water. I've only watched Gurren Lagann and Neon Evangelion there of those lists. What's FLCL? I probably know that, just don't know the abbreviation. Okay, that looks good. Continue that here. Eva and Gurren Lagann. I watched Evangelion as a child, and I remember really liking it. And then I recently watched it, like a few months ago. I watched it with my wife, and it was still great, but it's not as good as I remember it to be. The first, say, like 90% of it is good to great, and then like the last episode and the movie, that really disappointed me. I don't know what. It kind of pissed me off how everything, like half of the last two episodes, well, no, not half, all of the last two episodes were just Shinji just tripping out, and I was like kind of sick of it. It was like so repetitive. It kind of pissed me off. And then the movie, like half of the movie is just a repeat of that, and then it gets good, right? So I remember when I watched it, it was like a 9 out of 10 anime, but I'll give it a solid 7.5 out of 10 now that I'm a bit older and kind of more critical with those kind of things, right? Because I could not get back. I was so pissed off. Like, okay, I'm done with this shit. Move on from the trip. Jesus Christ. I was like that all the time. Oh, Fully Cooley. Yeah, it's a really good anime. I just didn't know it was called that. I've never heard it called that way, okay? Dude, I haven't heard Fully Cooley's... I haven't heard that name for a very long time. It's like, one of those songs that you used to listen to that you just forgot over the years, and then you hear it again. Like, oh, I know this used to be my song. Yeah, it's one of those things, right? Whiplash. Ganap po ng mga covered yan din po ako hirap gumawa. Pinagawa ko na lang sa chat. Oh, you made ChatGPT do it? I have a video about how you can make a manga cover. It's a 2-part video. The first part will talk more about the fundamentals, and the second part will actually this painting is going to be part of that video. Okay, it's actually me drawing a cover art for you guys, because to me right now, this cover art that I'm doing is a massive jump in quality when it comes to, let's say, cover arts that I've done in the past. Just because of how simple it is, right? I'll show you some of my earlier cover arts, and they all absolutely just suck balls, okay? I don't know if I can say that on stream. Come on. Where's my thing? I think some of you guys have seen this. Okay, this is one of them. I'm a bit unorganized. I think this is my second cover art, and I just couldn't decide what pose. I was still experimenting with Hikari's colors and her thing. And this is an earlier version of Hikari, which she has drums that she summons. It's just way different now, though, by the way. She doesn't have these drums or these powers. So, yeah, this is my earlier drawings, and then I did this. It absolutely sucked. This was like last year, I think. And I didn't put a lot of effort here. I mean, look at the face. It's terrible. But I was just experimenting with the pose. And let me give you one more if I can find it. I got a lot of here. Here. This was my first one, okay? And I kind of like the pose, but the problem here is the face. I don't like the face. And again, I'm still experimenting with her colors. I did this a long time ago. This one was I think late last year. I kind of like this one. I just don't like the way I render this. I like the way how I render the face. but everything else I kind of rushed it. Again, I have that tendency to do that. I mean, look at the clothes here, right? Look at the way I drew the clothes. It sucks, and compare that to what I'm doing now, which I think is so much more deliberate, so much better. Yeah, because I was relying more on the render. Anyway, so I kind of suck at this when it comes to my own manga. Oh, did I just close something that I shouldn't? But I did a couple of awesome cover arts for a client that I. It's one of those things that you accidentally do really well. Like this is one of my favorite cover art, but the name is a bit too small, and there's a lot of things going on here. This is a client manga that I did for them. I think it was like 2 years, 3 years ago. Um, but I really love this concept, and you can kind of see that I carried over a lot of the regalia here, a lot of the aspects to what I'm doing now, especially with the frame. Because this one I really like, right? Did I do another cover? I think I did a few covers for clients before, but nothing really solid. However, lately I've been studying manga covers in general, so I think this is a big improvement in my opinion. Um, Watching many isekai, well, you must become Shinji to fully understand Shinji, my dear friend. Well, I understand him. I'm just saying that that particular sequence was so repetitive, and I did not enjoy it. Okay, pretty neat to see. Is she Konoichi? She's not a Konoichi. She is a big mystery though. Hikari is a big mystery, which I don't want to. I don't want to. No, I don't want to spoil. I'm writing this thing. Go read my manga if you want to know. But Aki here, this character, did I close it? This character here, this boy here, which is his brother. He is kind of like a ninja. Like Konoichi's a female ninja, right? But he's like a guy, so it's kind of like a ninja, kind of. I call him an infiltrator, or a student. He's studying an infiltration, right? So he's really good at infiltration. Um, and in this world that I created, you need like roles. There are roles you need to fill if you go into an expedition, which in the story will be like the ultimate, like the ultimate goal is to go into an expedition. Um, so an expedition is when you go outside the barrier or the wall. Really, those are interchangeable words. And you need to fit roles, right? There needs to be an engine master. There needs to be a helmsman because they need this like big vehicle, almost like a land ship to go outside the wall. You need like people who replace armor outside of this tank thing, this ship. All those kind of things. And if depending on what kind of expedition, there are expeditions that are just resource gathering, and you don't really need too many roles there. You just need miners, just need workers and maybe soldiers to fend off creatures. But say a hunting mission, you need to hunt a dredge lord. You need like a infiltrator to scout its castle or its lair or some sort, right? So you need that. You also need a paragon to boost morale if you go into battle. Since the dredge lands is really depressing, and paragons are like they're like the Captain America All Might kind of character, right? They kind of boost morale. They help people um, gain their bearing. So those are like some of the roles that I was thinking of, right? I have in mind. I collecting so many pictures in Pinterest as a reference for fight scenes and effects to the story. Actually, I do that too. Yeah, I do. I still do that. I got like a lot of references in Pinterest. Really, it's the only place I look for references. Um, because it's a bit more reliable, and I just know how to use it, And I understand that people might not like that because Pinterest is full of AI, and like I said before, I don't really care. It's only just a reference, right? And I keep preaching that there has to be some sort of compromise between artists. I've said this a million times. I'll say that once again. There has to be a bit of compromise between artists and AI. You know, you can't be close-minded to it. I'm personally not using it, but I have received clients that wants me to use AI, and I'm actually quite open to that because client work is a bit different. I'm in it for the money, of course. I mean, it's like my full-time job, obviously, and there are also clients that wants me to praise another artist that he hired. By the way, it's not like I'm praising other artists. Um, Things like that. So with those kind of projects, I really don't care. I will do it. I'm not, I'm not like a saint or anything like that, right? Because AI is kind of changing the job market, and if I don't change with it, I'll be left behind. It's a really unfortunate though. I really don't like doing it, to be honest with you. But it is what it is, and I gotta adapt, man. I'm just putting that out there, so you're not surprised if I post client work that you use reference an AI. I just want to be honest. But for my personal work though, it's just all me. There's a big difference there. Because this thing I actually care about. Well, I also care about my client work, but if I'm forced to use AI, I mean, I'm not gonna say no to, like, my employer. I'm not rich. I'm not rich enough to be in a what you call that? Um, a protester? No. Yeah, protester. I can't be protesting it. I'm not that rich. I need my job, okay? Now, that looks so much better, right? Than what I showed you. Wait, my chat's not working again. Give me like 2 seconds. It keeps doing this, man. I don't know what it is. Jesus. Wait. Where the heck is my chat? Okay, there it is. Mm. All right, we're back. It's actually also very sad because I am feeling the effects of AI, so to say. There's a job market I frequent, and that's where I get clients. It's no secret; it's Upwork, and I'm getting a lot of um the offers that I'm getting are a lot lower, and I think it's because they are comparing it to how low other artists are bidding their work. So I'm getting a little bit less projects nowadays. It's not so much that it's affecting my income. and that I can still be picky with my clients. But I kind of sort of feel it, you know. I feel the inevitability of it. All those 2,000 followers should join my Discord. Why? It's okay. It's nobody's obligated. But yeah, you should probably join my Discord. You know, that's a good idea. I should post my Discord on chat. Give me 1 sec. Man, my computer is like, I don't know what it is, but my old computer is faster than this. I just upgraded this thing. I thought I already fixed this issue. Whoops. Come on, come on. There you go. I'll pin that link. Where's my Twitch? Let me just get to my Twitch. I'll pin that there too, just in case. Okay, and we should be good. Should be Gucci. To be honest, when Bro talked about AI, I started the thing. I started thing. Yeah, I could just use AI as references. Just gotta put that in my workflow. Yeah, there has to be a compromise there, right? You know, I did realize I saw this video. It made me realize that there is such a thing as worse than AI, in my opinion. And you know what that is? That's art snobs. I really hate art snobs more than AI, right? Because I saw this reel about a Monet post, where the OP said that he took Monet is a very popular artist, by the way. He took Monet's art and ran it through AI, and kind of arrogantly, playfully said, "Oh, my art is better than Monet," the thing that he generated, and it got like 60 million views, right? Of things, people commenting, "Oh, you know, Monet is so much better. Oh, the green is not doesn't really look as good. You know, it's really not that it's soulless," things like that. And then the plot twist is that the thing that he posted was a real Monet and not AI. And all these freaking like art snobs, right, are like starting to delete their comments, you know, and like, it's freaking hilarious, man. And I love seeing those things, right? It's like you don't know what art snobs really don't know what they're talking about, and they couldn't distinguish the real Monet from the lie that it was AI, but it wasn't AI. It was a real Monet. Um, so and when I watched that, right, it's like, oh my god, you know what? I hate art snobs more than I hate AI. What the hell? AI generated? It's not art for me. Well, I'm saying that he actually did not generate it. He lied about it being generated. Instead, he posted the real thing, and then people could not distinguish that it was a real artwork from a popular artist, right? So that's the thing, right? They couldn't distinguish that. I'm not saying that AI is good. I'm saying that people cannot tell the difference between they're just snobs, basically, and I hate that about the art community, the art snobs, right? Fine, I'll use a bit more AI since I just use it as reference, man. You don't really have to. The thing is that when people say they use AI, they just think that they generated something and then just call it a day. That's not what I'm advocating for, or that's not what anybody's advocating for. Okay. Sir, nung nakagawa na po ako ng maraming chapter, binalikan niyo po ba yung chapter 1 para mas ma-improve at mas maganda? So, Peng here is asking if once I finish a lot of chapters, did I go back to chapter 1? And I'd say, yes, absolutely. I went to my chapter 1 several times. In fact, the chapter 1 that you can read the chapter 1 you read on Manga Plus is the 6th I think fourth, something like that, right? Fourth iteration. Let's say fourth iteration of my story. You have those rush generated stuff that gets flooded on Manga Plus bothers me. It actually bothers me too. I kind of laugh at it a little bit, you know, because they get more views than some of them get more views than actual artists. Like I look at my stuff, right, and I think I got like 7,000 readers, which is to me is quite a lot. And I know that Manga Plus skewed the number a little bit, so I'm probably close to 1,000 readers. Really, I don't really know, but it's not 7,000 readers. But let's just say 7,000, right? And you might think that's a lot, but these AI stuff get like hundreds of thousands, up to like close to 1 million views and millions of readers in Manga Plus. It's really really sad, and I just say it's funny just to cope, but it's sad. Do you do master studies? Do you have a video about how you do those? How I do what? I do have a few studies in my YouTube channel, but I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. I do what, AI references? No, I don't really have a video about using AI as a reference. Because I just use because those kind of references I just use it as if it's any kind of reference really. I think I have a video about like using references in general, and I think I addressed that just a little bit there. I think it was my tracing video, where how I teach people how to properly learn from tracing, and I mentioned um, how you can use reference there a little bit. This should be mostly shadow, like here and here. Actually, a lot of these will be in shadow anyway, right? I think most of the viewers just look at the first few pages and see how bad they look. I noticed that most AI manga on there don't get comments. Actually, a lot of the mangas there, even if it's not AI, don't really get much comments. I believe the one of the top manga there that I know it's not made by AI. I remember I was the only one who commented something there. My manga only has a lot of comments because I forced my friends to do that. But I don't think that's a normal thing in Manga Plus. It's really unfortunate. Manga Plus has a lot of potential, and it's really the only outlet that I can find that caters to purely mangaka. Because webtoon, if you're a mangaka and you're going to webtoon, you're not gonna go far, in my opinion, right? In my experience, because the platform, the format isn't catered to that, to manga, so it's not gonna be as promoted as much. I mean, you could try. I mean, I did try. Um, but maybe that's just me. I'm a relatively small, not relatively. I am a small content creator, and maybe I don't have the numbers to, you know, make a big conclusion like that. But I'm just basing that off my experience. Okay. Oh, the hair. Forgot the hair. Oh crap. That's fine. Fine, I'll just redo that again. I like scrolling on Webtoon, plus they have weird rules on mature content. Yeah, true. I don't like scrolling too, man. I kind of like reading. I just like manga. I don't like Webtoon. I'm not a fan. But the reality is that if you're a manga creator, if you're a storyteller, those are the things that you need to consider anyway. I mean, I'm considering converting my mangas into webtoons just for the sake of having more eyes on my manga. That's gonna be a plus on my end, right? When it comes to branding myself, um, give my readers a lot more avenue to read. Even if you don't like the medium, you gotta acquiesce to what the market is saying. And I'm not gonna lie, online though, um, it's sad to say because I don't like manhwa. Well, it's not I don't like manhwa. I just like manga better. Okay, I'm a bit biased. Of course, I grew up on it, but manhwa is kind of overtaking manga when it comes to the online space now. It's not there yet when it comes to like physical collectors. Uh, collector readers. Fuck, what am I saying? It's not as popular as manga when it comes to say the books, but online, it's kind of overtaking it. And it's just because how much the websites like Webtoon and Tapas, they well, maybe not Tapas, they really support their website, and they have a lot of things going for it. Whereas say Shueisha, which is the only thing that I can find, they don't really have much going for the website right yet, since that's a new platform still. But it still has potential. It hasn't really seen that yet. Okay. I do see a lot of manhwa at my store, but it's mostly just the Black and BL series. Me too, man. It's not really as prominent as manga yet, but I have seen some manhwas on my store too. Well, which is actually not a bad thing. I'm not dissing on manhwa. I mean, it's good to have those kind of things, you know. And really, I'm just dissing on it playfully. Um, I like all forms of storytelling. I'm just biased with manga, you know. I'm biased with those things. But it's a good thing that manhwa is also getting popular. Don't get me wrong. It's good. It's good to have competition. It's good to have variety. I think my shading is wrong here. I'm gonna darken this place up a little bit. Yeah, like this. And I'm gonna lighten this place more. Okay. That's a little bit better. That hand is gonna cast a shadow here, which we will not draw too much. Um, I'm the same. I like manga best, but I have seen a manga that made me want to go out and read it. I haven't really read any manhwa at all. I mean, I've seen Solo Leveling, but I haven't read it. I believe Lords of Mystery is a man. No, it's Chinese. What's the Chinese variation? I forgot the name. What's the Chinese variation of a manga? There's a name for it too. I know that it's like right there, right? And I just can't remember. Okay, this is like a good shadow overall. Let's do the skin. Uh, I actually want to lit her skin up a lot more than I did Aki. Um, like this. I really like this render far better than my last cover. And I like the wacky face too. Kind of intentional. I kind of draw Hikari with this crazy wacky expression. That's just who she is, right? She's all over the place. So the protagonist, the dual antagonists, the two protagonists that I have is Aki and Hikari, and they kind of complement each other. You know, Aki is the brains, and Hikari is the bronze. And Hikari is kind of this like mysterious. She has a mysterious past, right? And even she doesn't know really who she is. And Hikari is like just the name that was given to her by her adopted parents. Oh, whoops. Um, Actually, no, that's not correct. Hikari is the name that her friends gave her, the kids gave her of the village where she was found. Because Hikari is also the name of the place. Ina Hikari is the name of the farm that she was found. Now that I think about it, it's totally unintentional. That it sounds like Superman, right? Totally unintentional, by the way. I didn't. I'm just realizing that now. But yeah, she has that origin where she can't remember herself. And she also it's part of her power set where if she uses too much of her power, which she can't control, she doesn't know what it is. It's more like a soft power system, more mysterious. It's I've defined it, but I don't want to define it for my readers, but it has a little bit of set of rules that the things that she can and can't do. Um, for example, she has a healing factor similar to Deadpool, very very quick. But the caveat is the limitation is that the healing factor is tied to her consciousness, to how much stamina. If she's tired, she can't heal as fast. If she's unconscious, she can't heal at all. Uh, Things like that. So she has to stay awake. There's also this rune thing that Aki gives her, um, called the Rune of Awakening, which gives her adrenaline. So if she's about to die and she's like passing out, and she can't heal herself because again her healing factor is tied to her consciousness. So if she remains conscious, um, Aki can inject her with this thing, and then she's like, she goes back to normal, and it makes for some comedic moment, I guess, some moments of peril because you're not really exactly like Deadpool. It just makes the fight scenes last a little longer, as well as some interesting story beats that about herself that I'm not gonna spoil. It's one of the things that I'm still debating if I'm gonna do. Um, there's something about Hikari's personality that I'm still debating if I'm gonna explore that or if I'm just gonna scrap it. That has something to do with her healing factor. But I feel like it's a bit too much. Okay, I'm gonna spoil it. Okay. I think I've already mentioned this to some people in Discord. That Hikari has some form of sadism because she can heal, right, and there's a whole backstory about why she's that way, and in my opinion the story is like totally justified, and it's not just sadism for sadism's sake, and that's what I'm trying to avoid there, and that's why I'm debating it because it might end up just being something, something gory for gory's sake, but I did come up for of a really good storyline and a good reason to as to why she's that way, and she's ashamed of it too. She's not really proud that she's like that. She keeps it a secret. So I'm still debating on that if I'm gonna go over that route. Uh, I don't know yet. I'm still thinking. I could just imply it. I do love the manga Yan, but it's a manga style, so I don't consider it a full manhwa. I don't know that one. I guess that whole thing is just where it's made now. It's not really what it is anymore. I mean, a manga is really just a comic book. Let's be honest here. It's just called a manga because it's made from Japan. if an American made a manga uh, published by an American publishing company, everybody would just call it a comic book. Okay. Wait, shouldn't this be in shadow? Because this will cast a shadow, right? No, it won't. Yeah, this will be lit up. I'll fix that later. But that should conclude the first layer of shadow. Let's erase some part of it and fix a few things here and there. Like that. You know what? I'm gonna do this. Bounce light, baby. Bounce light really do go a long way. You do it right. Especially here, where I am gonna do some sort of subsurface scattering. Gonna see her figure here. Remember the old Yoko Pop manga that was made outside of Japan? Stuff like Bizanges. That sounds familiar too. Bizanges. Let me look that up. And there's so many things in my thing, that I can't remember. The cover looks familiar, but I don't think I've read this or known about this. But it looks good. Really unique art style. Personally, I'm not a fan of the art style, but I like the gothic look of it. Where's my chat? Tokyo Pop, my mistake. Nah, I don't remember that one. Back in the day, I didn't really read the mangas. Well, as a book, I kind of just read them online. Oh yeah, I love bounce lights. Okay, the hair now. The hair really needs some help. Um, because of this thing on the top. I need to define the lighting here a bit more. They're a publishing company everywhere in the 2000s, but along with publishing manga, they also did original stuff that had a manga style. Oh, really? I mean, the thing that you showed me looks pretty much like a manga. Right, I would consider this manga. It's just a different style, but it has that manga feel to it. Actually, kind of reminds me of Witch Atelier a little bit. What was I doing again? Oh yeah, shadows. Third eye. I'm gonna try to copy this, and I'm gonna duplicate it, and then do this a little bit. See what happens. Oops. I don't like it. Let's do that one more time. Maybe just not too much. Hmm. I'm not sure about this thing. Come on. Yeah, it's just interesting that there was a company doing that back then, but nowadays there does not seem to be many. Uh can I think of a company that still does that? You're talking about the a Western company, right? Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Japanese that does that still. Um, yeah, you're right. I think Disney has a manga, right? Has a manga division. If you didn't know it, I'm not sure. I've seen some of their stuff. I forgot what it's called though. I'll have to get back to you on that next time I get into my bookstore. I'll take a picture. But there was a manga in my manga section that was published by Disney. So I guess they do that stuff. It's kind of fun. The artwork's pretty bonkers too. It's pretty good. I don't know about the story though. It can look kind of Yuri-ish. I mean, sorry, not Yuri, yaoi-ish, which I'm not really a fan of. I'm not really a fan of any love story stuff. Okay, maybe a few, but very rarely I get into those things. Um, I like my romance to be unpredictable. You know, like you don't see it coming. But if you buy a romance novel, you kind of see it coming, right? And you know they're gonna fall in love. Um, I like my romance in genres that are not the romance is not supposed to be there. Does that make sense? There's a Lilo and Stitch manga. I didn't even know that. It was something else, man. The artwork looked really anime. Um, but it looked really good. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it looked really good. The only thing that's stopping me from buying it because number one, it's made by Disney. I'm not against that, but I like Disney when it comes to their entertainment. But I would rather support a Japanese mangaka, right, than a big corporation. I'd rather buy this stuff. I know that sounds so freaking snobbish. Uh, I don't know, but I'm gonna give myself that one. Okay, I'm gonna give myself a little bit of a snob when it comes to that. And number two, it looks really yaoi, so it's one of those things. I don't wanna, I don't wanna read a love story and then because I'm not really getting into it. I don't want to read a love story in general. Like I said, I like my romance in genres that are not supposed to be romantic. I'd say Inuyasha is a good one. I mean, I don't know if you can you classify it? I think you can, but I didn't expect it in Inuyasha. Um, right? What else? There are some exceptions though. What's his face? Fuck, I forgot the title. Apothecary Diaries was also really good. I know that's a romance. But going into it, I didn't know it was a romance. I thought it was like some mystery stuff. Avatar. Yeah, Avatar had some romance to it. Oh, I'm gonna call it romance. It's like it had some love stories, right? Um, but that's a genre that's not supposed to have that. And then unexpectedly, it's like a surprise. I like those kind of things. I guess it's Dark Hero Horse Comics. Dark Horse Comics. Yeah. Um, I used to read a lot of comics, like actual comic books, back when I was a kid, from my dad, my uncle, rather. I call my uncle my dad because he's the one who raised me. Shout out, by the way, my uncle, my dad. Um, so I read a lot of Thor comics back in the day. I was a big fan of Thor. He used to copy his look and Wolverine. Well, I didn't really read Wolverine comics, but he was a big fan of that. Um, what did I read back then? I remember reading All Star Superman when it came out. I remember reading. Mostly Marvel stuff. I did read some. The only DC stuff I read is All Star Superman. I read. I forgot their names already. Almighty Thor. I think Jason Aaron is the one who wrote that. Mostly Thor stuff. Okay. And Spawn. Yeah, of course. Dark Horse. Talk about Dark Horse comics. My uncle was a big fan of that too. Actually, Spawn would be one of the reasons why I got into art. Maybe a small reason. I'm personally not a big fan of Spawn. Well, the story goes like my uncle. Well, I'm gonna call him my dad because again he's the one who raised me. My uncle used to draw him, and he sucked at drawing. I was like, oh, but to me as a kid, right? That it looked really cool. Um, and so I was like, oh, I want to draw him too a little bit, And it's like, oh, yeah, it is kind of cool. Oh, this drawing stuff is kind of cool. So I guess Spawn is a small part of the reason why I'm drawing, right? Small part. I'm gonna give him all the credit. Okay, this is a big improvement on my last cover art. This cell shading stuff. I'm really tempted to blend it though, to be honest with you. I wanna revert back to my old ways. And I'm just holding myself back as I go. Okay, let's get into the hair because it needs a lot of help. I think it's looking way better with the strands here. Oh yeah. Zoom out. I think it's way better. But it still needs some help. So this ear is going to cast a big shadow like this. And so will this hand. So I'll just leave it like that. I want some smaller strands, maybe. This is really just my style, A lot of anime artists does it a lot more simpler, but I don't want to copy them. I'm gonna come up with my own stuff. My own style, my own way of doing it. And this is really what I came up with. It may not be this technique may not be original to me, but I can safely say I came about this by myself, and I'm pretty sure there are other artists that has figured this out too, similarly to what I'm doing. But I personally don't know of them, and that's why I just stick to something like this because it's the thing that I figured out myself. Even if other people does it. I see. Yeah. I mean, the other other artists that they have really cleaned and probably a far better render than what I have. Um, I don't know. I just like doing this. It's my own thing. Come head on out, Jingos. Yeah, take care. You too. Take care too, man. Thanks for hanging out. Okay. This looks good to me. Maybe a little bit more bounce light. Let's get into the lighting. Oof. Darker looks nice. If I turn it dark. That looks nicer. Nah, no, let's stick to that. I'm gonna add some inner shadows, especially with the hair. It needs to be a little bit darker. She does have black hair, but making her hair totally black, um, it doesn't look good. So I'm adding a little bit of brown just to replicate the light source. Let's check that out. Okay, that looks better. That looks terrible. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot the stomachs. The stomach's fading. Okay, let's go to lighting. Oh, it's still a multiply layer. Okay, let's go make a overlay. I feel like this part here is a bit more too detailed. It looks out of place. I'll fix that in a bit. It looks good. I don't like it. It's too much. Is that really good? Uh, it's okay. Oh, let me just stretch a bit, eh? Shoulders kind of aching from being in the same position for a very long time. Let me just take 5. Turning out really well. There's still a few things I want to do here. For example, I want to improve on the hair. We're also gonna do hair strands. So that means we're just gonna overlay a new layer here and just draw strands individually. It'll make it a little. It'll make the hair a little bit more puffier. What else? I want a second light source and a thicker line, a thicker rim light, a much more saturated rim light behind her, and some effects here. She does this thing with her ears where the electricity comes out. I'm not sure if I want to do that because she doesn't do that yet on the chapter that this manga will be on. This cover art will be on. So this really is for chapter 1. Sorry, chapter 3. This is a cover art for chapter 3. I'll be doing one more cover art, but probably not very soon. Maybe like in 3 weeks from now, because next week I'll be doing a fan art of Rei from Evangelion, and the week after that I'll be doing a fan art of I'll be going back to Stellar Blade, and then I'll be doing Warhammer at the end of the month, and then I'll do another cover art. By then I'll be able to release chapter 2 and chapter 3 of my manga. But chapter 2 is like 80-70% there. It's almost as I'm only a few pages away. I need to proofread it and make sure there's no spelling mistakes. I want to revise it. I want to see it from afar, which means that I just need to reread it myself and see what else I can improve. Things that I can add or remove, things like that, right? I'm really excited about it too. I'll be promoting it in some of my videos very soon. But yeah. Oh, and I think I mentioned earlier that I'll be converting it to a manhwa as well, just to get more eyes on it. Whew. I need a massage, man. Okay, I'm about ready to go back into it. So let's improve on the hairstyle. I think I just need to improve on the strands here because the lighting looks really wonky. This is a little bit better. Still a long way to go. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do the strands now. I think I'm just about ready. I think her hair is a bit shorter. The bangs, it should be like right there. Okay, and the reason for that is I want her to be a bit mysterious, right? So it's not that her eyes are covered, but a lot of her eyes should be covered. So I'm gonna extend the hairs here a little bit like this. See if I can achieve that. This hairstyle is really hard to pull off because it covers a lot of the eyebrows. I mean, it's like any other hairstyle really that covers the eyebrows, but it's hard to draw expressions. I feel like I'm just drawing a girl without any eyebrows all the time. And so the way I navigate that um is through changing her hair patterns a little bit. So maybe sometimes it's up, the wind is blowing it, things like that. um or she's playing with her hair. That could be it too. This also gets rid of the line art a little bit, hides it. As much as possible. I don't want to show the line art. I mean, it's still there, but it's not as obvious from a distance, right? It's almost hidden. Okay, I think that makes the hair puffer, right? Look at that. Boom. A lot better, in my opinion. There's so many things I want to add here. Let's add some temperature. Make a layer. Let's do overlay. And say a really weak 20%. I'm just gonna test that out. Let's take a orange. And let's color that on top of her head. A really dark orange would be nice. Is that even noticeable? Barely. Let's take a red. Wash it around her face. Barely noticeable. And finally a nice blue. Bottom of her face there, like that. Those will be the temperatures. Can barely notice it, but it's there. Terminator lines. Other overlay. And this time, this is a really weak pink. There we go. Maybe not that strong. Maybe let's say 50%. Okay, that looks good. Barely noticeable, right? But it's there. We'll fix some of the fingers too. There's some things I can improve here. Shadows and the knuckles. Like that. So much better. Then secondary shadow onto onto these parts. Almost cell shaded. Actually, it is cell shaded. Almost. It is cell shaded. Oh my god. My Photoshop is spazzing out again. Okay. Oh, let's add textures. This is gonna be fun. I need new textures. I'm kind of bored with my old ones. So I'm gonna try some other things out. The hell's Genix? I don't like that. Ooh, that looks nice. Okay. Try that out. I think that's just for the pants. So multiply. Oh, look at that. Right? I like that dirt on it, you know, like as if the pants has been used for a long time and a lot of times. This might be a bit too strong, so let's reduce it a little bit. I do like it though. But it's not as strong as I want it to be. I'm gonna pull this off by using one of my old textures. I'm gonna revert back to the old ways. This thing, I love this thing with leather because it gives off a lot of scratches. Okay, and when you erase it, has like a lot of these scratch, right? I really like that. Look at that. We can even add this on our overlay layer. All right, something like this. Maybe that's a bit much. And really get that nice texturing, like used leather. I don't know if it looks good on the pants though. I'm gonna try. Whoops. Nah. There's another texture for it. Maybe this one? No, I don't like that. Let's look for a texture. You know what? Let's do a simple brush. Simple textured brush. Come on. That looks kind of nice. I like it on here too. Some of these are leather and wood. Okay. We'll get back to that. I want to add something with the eyes. The classic glare. That completes the eye. Let's do another layer. Let's do hard light. Maybe I'm just experimenting. I want a second light source. For now, I'm not gonna add it. I'm just gonna imagine it for now, okay? And then we'll add it after. I just want to see what it looks like. Ooh, a blue at the back looks good. That's too strong, isn't it? It's a bit too strong. The hell? It's a bit too strong, I think. But I'll trust the process. See how it goes. It's just room lighting anyway. It kind of looks good. Come on. Some blue here. There. I kind of like it. Which means there should be some blue here too. And underneath the sandals. A little bit here. This will take effect when I actually add the light source. Right now it just looks like it's a random blue. But once I add the light source after this, it's gonna make a lot more sense, okay? Um, Should I blend this thing? I don't know what it looks like if it's blended. It's a lot less powerful. I kind of like it. Like it's a glow behind her, you know? Okay, let's actually add the thing. Yeah, there's a nice blue there. Okay. And let's strengthen this a little bit more. That's too much. I think some of this is too much. Like here, it's really overpowering. And I just want a little bit of a smudge. Right? Something like this. It's too overpowering in my opinion. Reduce that. Oh, that's so much better. Whoops. It's passing out again. So there's a blue secondary light source that's a little bit stronger. Maybe it's a bit too strong, right? Let me reduce it. Around here, it should fade away. I don't want it to be too overpowering. It just start fading away around this area. But it should still be visible. I mean, there's still some blue here. Okay. What the hell's this thing? Okay, whatever. Turn it off. Spotlight there. Oh, I think that takes the cake. Maybe the font's too big. Yeah, we can do a little bit more than this. Let's do. Come on. Let's increase the saturation and add a little bit of like chromatic stuff to it, you know, just give it some style. Something like that. Let's go to hard mix. Okay, that's really, really strong. So let's reduce that to, let's say, 10%. Ooh, look at that. Now it adds a little bit more color to it, right? It is a bit stronger here, and it does add some textures that I don't like. But we can reduce that. We can always reduce that. Here. Kind of like it here though. It's adding a lot of character. But all throughout the painting, I think it looks good. Let's do that one more time. But this time, let's turn it to one color. And then just some random color here. Whoops. No. Some random color here. Let's turn it to something red right there. Look at that. And then let's make a blue. Boom. This will be your chromatic aberration. You can just do this and do this. Hey, look at that. Actually, you know what? If I do this, right? Kind of looks psychedelic. Let's reduce the opacity to 44%, almost 50. What if I do this? I'm debating. I don't know what to do. Kind of like that, but I also kind of like this. I'll stick to this. And let's do one more finish. Actually, there's two more finish I can do. Which is, let's do color halftone. Filter, pixelate, color halftone. And what this will do is add a bunch of circles. Okay? Just give me a sec. It's like taking a while. There you go. Let's do 20 max radius. And boom, look at that. More psychedelic. Let's do hard mix once again. And let's say 20%. Okay. That looks really shit. 10%. That's a bit better. And I'm just going to erase a lot of this. Especially around the face area or where the skin are. I want that to be really clean. And just add some textures to, you know, some parts of it. It's not going to be overbearing, but when you zoom in, it's going to be there. Like here, it's still too overbearing. I particularly like this on where the secondary light source is. It looks really appropriate there. Okay. Then one more. Let's do this. Oh, whoa, wait. Oh yeah, okay, good. Let's do this. And finally, you know what? Let's not do that. I'm gonna instead. Oh, your work is so beautiful. Thanks, man. Thank you. This is gonna take a while because it's gonna lag my computer. But let's add a noise. Add noise. This will give it a bit of texture, as if it's made out of paper. Okay. I don't know if you can notice that, but there should be some grainy look to it. But I'm gonna Control Z. So that's clean, and that's the grain over there, right? Okay. Barely noticeable though. But there's other things I can add here too. Like I can do tilt shifts for a more cinematic view. Where's it? Blur, tilt shift. Come on. It takes a while, man. It's a big file, and my computer isn't that strong. So please bear with me. So tilt shift kind of adds blur, a gradual blur on the top and the bottom section, right? But you can rotate that so it doesn't have to be in the top and bottom section. Again, it takes a while. Computer's not that strong. It used to be. I don't know what it is, man. I upgraded my computer to a stronger computer, and it's all of a sudden it's slower. Isn't that weird? Isn't it concerning? See, it's lagging. It's not responding. Hopefully it doesn't crash, by the way, because I didn't save this. Oh man, I'm concerned. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. I'm gonna be so demoralized if it crashes. Because this is like a good 4 hours, maybe even 5 hours. I've been streaming for almost 3 hours, but I've been drawing this behind the scene for a few more hours than that, right? So I'm just gonna try and click cancel. It's not gonna work. Please do not crash. And if it does, please, autosave would be great. So I'm just gonna pray, chat with you guys here maybe, and pray to whoever is listening to not crash my work. I believe it's gonna crash though. It is gonna. It's so gonna crash. I'm so doomed. The only thing I'm gonna take away from this painting is the learning experience, and nothing else, right? Damn, but this is gonna suck so bad. Is it responding? It's not. Is it just me? It's not responding, guys. I wonder what's gonna happen. Am I gonna have to draw all of this over again, all over again? I gotta say though, this is my best painting of Hikari so far. I've been trying and trying to make a really nice cover art for my manga, and I've done one really good one, and this one's gonna be the second one. And this is gonna be part of a video too, so I would be really sad if I lose a lot of work. Hopefully, if it does crash, the autosave feature will kick in, and I don't have to roll back a lot of this stuff. Is it really just lagging, or am I like stupid here? Can I? It is. I'm gonna give it 5 more minutes, and if not, I'm gonna have to start closing programs to help it. Uh, help my computer process what it's trying to do, which means I'm gonna have to end the stream because I think OBS takes a lot of space. I'm gonna close Chrome, which I'm not sure what's gonna happen to my Twitch if I do that, but it's okay. Nobody watches me on Twitch anyway. Everybody's on YouTube. Oh, Chrome's not working too. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna close Chrome. All right, that did something. I think. Okay, I don't think this is gonna move until I actually close all my programs. So I'm just gonna end the stream here, unfortunately. Anyway, I've been streaming for a while, and we've done a lot together today. So I'll be streaming again tomorrow around the same time, and hopefully I don't have this issue. I've been having this problem for since I upgraded my computer. It's really sad, but thanks everybody for hanging out with me. This has been a great stream, by the way. I had a lot of fun with y'all. I'll see you again tomorrow, hopefully, and on Sunday. I'm trying to stream more, and yeah, that's gonna be. I'm gonna close everything down so I don't actually start destroying this piece. Okay. Thanks everyone again. Bye bye. Bye bye. Okay. End the stream.